Hey everyone, this is Mike again at Life Starts with Food, and I am with my boss, Dr. Ted. So I found Dr. Ted December of 2018 through it's never accident, it's always God's providence, and it's really cool the way we found him. I won't go into that story, but I ended up with him December of 2018 as a holistic health practitioner locally in my area, and within a few visits, I realized I was going to be working for this guy not too far off. And sure enough, when did I start working for you? Like March, April, May last year? I don't know.
I don't know.
But either way, it's been a fantastic time. And there's Cammie there in the background. Hi, Cammie.
Creeper.
So, Dr. Ted, you are a DO, which is an go ahead.
Hola.
So this is Dr. Ted. He is Spanish, as you can tell. He's a doctor of osteopathy, which, from my understanding, means that you check out the whole body from structure, how the bones are aligned, clear up to medicine and healing in both modern medicine and some alternative medicines. Correct?
That is an idealistic view. That would be what was intended. And right now, there's no difference whatsoever. I have a daughter that's in her second year of internal medicine residency, and she's over at Summa Hospital, huge hospital in Akron. And my son is in his third year of medical school. They both went to High University. So I know what they're going through, and it's not a dime. Well, they do know manipulation, which is usually beneficial.
Yeah.
But to be honest, most of those people, they want to go to medical school. They want to be a doctor, and, they don't care how they do it. Their education is absolutely what the education they're getting is phenomenal. I went to West Virginia, and it's in one of the top 10 medical schools for primary care in the United States, has been for probably 15 or 20 years, but also so is Ohio University for primary care. They're just getting a killer education, no pun intended, sorry. But they're doing, if you want to know the facts of medicine, ask them.
Yeah.
If you want to heal somebody. Unfortunately, I'm a little more able to do that than they are.
A huge thing I heard recently was that there's some doctors going through, there's some students going through their education now that are actually saying that they're being taught nutrition now, not like a one-day course, but an actual, several semesters of courses on actual nutrition and how fat can heal the body and how protein can be necessary. I wouldn't say it's across the board, everyone, but just the fact that any place is teaching that now is unbelievable, because how many doctor friends do you have that have never learned a thing about nutrition unless they taught themselves? 2 doctors.
Really none. I don't know. They don't teach it. I had 20 hours of nutrition when I was in medical school.
Wow.
20 hours. 20 hours.
More than I thought.
Well, that's, it's like a week, not even a week. I was like 4 hours a day for 5 days. But the other thing too, you got to look at which institutions are providing that. It's not probably mainstream osteopathic or allopathic MDDO. It's probably more like chiropractic or an herbalist or naturopathy or whatever else, acupuncture. There's a lot of different modalities out there, and they work very well. And actually, it's been since the mid 1800s that there was a full frontal assault on traditional medicine. And that was started by the Rockefellers. And if you really want to check that out, there's a program on YouTube called Dauntless Dialogue. And he has a show, there's several of them, but the one to start with is called what was it? So like the pharmaceutical takeover of healthcare or something like that.
Yeah.
And it started with the Rockefellers. And it's been, that's why we are in the situation we are today, where nobody learns how to heal. They learn how to manage symptoms, because you cannot fix an organic body with anything synthetic. And back to the nutritional aspect of this, a lot of these people are promoting nutraceuticals, which are very highly concentrated synthetic supplements. So a perfect example is somebody may have, let's say, vitamin A, and it says 5,000% of the USRDA. Well, why would you want to take 5,000% of the USRDA when you can only use 100%? So it's just asinine, and you're peeing all this stuff out. You got really, wow, look, my urine's really bright yellow.
Well, let's be honest too. The RDA is what we've studied to know that's the minimum dose to not die of some disease that causes that vitamin or nutrient can help get past. Like the RDA of vitamin C is, what is it, like 10 milligrams a day, and that's supposed to be just enough to not get scurvy. Okay, awesome. But now, something I just learned very recently, I had Hilda on from the Weston A. Price Foundation, and we talked about the vitamin A the whole time, and I didn't understand that vitamin A from a real source like liver, when it's balanced out with vitamin D from sunshine, or cod liver oil, if that's something you do, is that keeps it from being toxic. But when you have all of the synthetic, like I love hearing you go off on synthetic all the time, and I love it. And when you have that synthetic, it's not even, your body doesn't even recognize it the same way. So
no, perfect example are Eskimos, because when I was in college, and that was back just after they had invented electricity. It was a while ago. We were doing studies with mice, and where we would inject mice with the vitamin A, and then their babies were born with cleft palates. And that was, literally 1978, 77, 78. So the thing is, Eskimos get 10,000 times the USRDA of vitamin A, but it's coming from like seal blubber. It's all natural sources.
Yeah.
They do not have cleft palates. So all this stuff that they talk about, these side effects, nothing natural is going to cause a problem.
Yeah.
It don't cause side effects. The other one is the ascorbic acid. They talk about vitamin C, and what they promote is ascorbic acid, which is just the external shell of the vitamin C molecule. It doesn't have the tyrosinase or any of the other things that the body needs. And ascorbic acid by itself will not treat scurvy. It won't do it. So garbage. As a matter of fact, ascorbic acid by itself, 250 milligrams, will promote coronary artery disease. And let's look at, say, emergent C or ester C. There's 1,000 milligrams of ascorbic acid in that. And the studies indicate, and this was back in the early 90s, 250 milligrams accelerated arteriosclerosis in even people that had no baseline heart disease or disease.
Yeah. So we got ahead of ourselves a little bit. I really wanted, it's so easy with the two of us. I really wanted I want you to kind of explain how you got to where you are from standard medicine to what I consider now alternative medicine, and more or less just a healer. You call yourself a healer. You don't necessarily throw out your letters at the end of your name all that often anymore, unless somebody asks. But what was a step what were the burdens that God put in your life that became blessings that took you from doctor for 30 years, standard practice, to now a holistic alternative medicine doctor or alternative healer?
There was the crisis was nobody gets better with synthetic drugs. And I remember distinctly having a patient in the hospital, and she just passed away last year. I always thought she was like way older than me, and we were born in the same year, I believe. Yeah. But she was probably on 15, 20 different prescription drugs. I didn't start all of them. But when that happens, when they're seeing a cardiologist and a nephrologist and a rheumatologist and then a primary care, everybody's putting in their 2 cents. And really then it trickles down to the primary care guy, where you should know, what's going on. And I just wanted to stop everything and, see what happens. Well, I know what would have happened. That's called a lawsuit, and would have not known what to do with any of that. So it was just, again, we're supposed to be different. We're supposed to see the body as a whole and not just a disease entity. And that doesn't happen. But it was just through, we dabbled with different things. I remember a long time ago, we dabbled with live blood microscopy and a company called OHS, Optimal Health Systems. And I remember seeing this little book, like their reference guide, and it would have different supplements, and then it would have illnesses like high blood pressure, and then it would list these supplements that you use to fix that. And I'm like, I just remember, isn't that cute? They think that you can fix us with just supplements. Anyway, so we did the live blood microscopy, and we kind of phased out. And again, it's a God thing. One of my elders at church, Dr. Scott Riccardi, he was, we ended up going in an office together, and I would go down to his office, and if I wasn't busy, and he had these supplements there, they were called Standard Process. And I'm like, that's a stupid name. What's Standard Process? What's Standard Process?
Kind of is, huh?
It is. But he entered, I remember it was probably in maybe November or December of 2008 is when I met Jennifer Patriarca through Standard Process, and she came in, and and it was just such a novel idea. And this was even before muscle testing, because there's always these epiphanies. It's like the lights go on, and she started going over the physiology of why these things work, and when you correct the problem, the main problem, 27,000 named diseases go away. I mean, right now, you pick a disease and then try to come up with a drug protocol that will fix that, and it's just insane. And so that was an epiphany for me, and that's when I started. I just didn't know there's no expression. You don't know your butt from a hole in the ground. Well, I didn't, but I was just like, I started telling my patients, here, you need this, you need to take Catalin, you need this, and I'd started going through classes and whatnot. And through it all, I lost a bunch of people, bunch of patients, because they didn't want to hear them. There was some alternative that, I don't know what they thought. But anyway, it was a struggle, but I kept at it, persevered. And it was probably, I was involved with muscle testing from the very beginning. And I remember when somebody put a product on my hand, and I had, they were contacting my liver with one hand and pushing down on my arm with the other, and I just couldn't even begin to hold my arm up, and they put a product in my hand, and it was Antranex, which is for the liver. It's a liver product, but it's our #1 allergy medication, because if the liver can't clear what's causing the symptoms, then you have the symptom. And antihistamine blocks the receptor site. When the medicine's gone, the symptoms are back. Antranex takes it out. Anyway, he put it in my hand. My arm was rock solid, and it just was mind-boggling to me. And that was my introduction to, into muscle testing. 2015 is when I started taking classes in earnest. And I went to Florida and had to go through 16 classes, 25 hours of class each time. A lot of trips, a lot of money, and it was absolutely worth it, because I couldn't do what I do today without all.
Yeah, because people who don't go through the training, I mean, people can get really good at muscle testing, and if people don't know what muscle testing it's applied kinesiology, is one way of describing it, but it's essentially checking. We all have a lock muscle right here, correct? So it's just a
way of checking circuits it's a way of checking organs in the body through circuitry.
Yeah.
So if there is a good, strong circuit, the organ is strong, the muscle is strong. If you contact an organ that is stressed, that little external pressure increases the stress on that organ. Now the body says, oh no, I have more stress. I need more energy to handle this stress. And you don't need it out there, because that's not important. And your arm will go weak. When you put the correct product in the hand or on the body, and it only has to be close. It doesn't even have to actually touch the body, because there's about 2 feet of energy in the supplement bottles. Then the body picks that up, goes directly to the organ in question, and your arm is just rock solid. So that's all we do, is we check circuit, and we check energy. whether it's too much or too little, we fix that. And then the body tells us 100% how long you need to take it, how many you need to take. You can check the progress of this, and that's the nice thing. You're actually getting real-time feedback to see how your course of treatment is progressing. Initially, we see people back quickly, more often weekly, just to assess stability, and then we stretch things out. But they heal and repair, and we activate the God-given ability to heal and repair. So, but yeah, the muscle testing technique, for out there, we do trap the motions, and Mike is our resident expert for emo release, but he's getting pretty slick with the technique, and so come in and get that done. But anything you do to boost the immune system, if you want this whole coronavirus thing to go away, everybody has to have an immune system boosted so that when you come in contact with it, it is a big nothing burger. And your body says, I'm good. It's not going to bother me. The way you do that is with foundational nutrition. The biggest, easiest thing is the calcium point, which is right here on the body. If you don't have calcium in your body, you cannot activate the immune system. The lymphocyte cascade doesn't occur. Just a lot of little easy things. The biggest one is get off sugar, folks. 100 grams of sugar suppresses your immune system for 24 hours.
Can we take a step, bro? Actually, repeat what you just said. How many grams of sugar?
100. So let me put that into perspective for you. You go out to Bob Evans, you have dinner, and then you're going to have dessert. So you order a piece of pie with a scoop of ice cream and a Coke.
Boom.
That's reasonable.
48 in the Coke, scoop of ice cream, another 35 to 45, and man,
112 grams of sugar. So what you've just now done, 75 to 100 grams will suppress the immune system for 24 hours. You can't absorb any mineral, especially calcium. And I just told you that you have to have that to activate the immune system. So think about these kids. They get up in the morning, they're having a juice box, they're having a bowl of Captain Crunch, they're having toast with Nutella, maybe a toaster strudel and a Pop-Tart, and they're out the door to go hang out with a bunch of other snot-nosed kids that have had that much sugar. Everybody's immune system is suppressed, and we wonder why they come home sick, and they live with tubes in their ears on antibiotics.
And we're not talking calcium from like, we're not talking just any happy-go-lucky, chew on this chocolatey calcium supplement. We're talking just in line with everything else you said, real calcium from real food, real products. And Royal Lee did a lot of studies on that. But before we go further, I do want to step back to, you use the word energy a lot. Supplements have an energetic field. People have an energetic field. A lot of people hear energy and they're either just, no problem at all, I get it. Then other people hear it and they go, nope, this is woo-woo. This is not real. Guys, I'm telling you, the science behind energy is as good as any other scientific field, if not better. It's not even a question to us anymore that this little sausage I have from Costco has energy. This cup of coffee I have has energy. There is an energetic field on everything in this planet, from a rock to people, has an energetic field that is visible. I mean, not visible to the naked eye, but it's visible through the right testing measures. So when we talk about energetic fields with muscle testing, so Dr. Ted said you can have a supplement in your hand, and then you can push on the other arm and test if your arm is weak or strong for that muscle test. What's going on is the energetic field from that supplement is, I don't know, intertwining. It's connecting with your body's energetic field, and it's just telling your body. It's another form of communication we have. We have chemical, electrical, and then the energetic communication. These all happen amongst ourselves. It's why when someone walks into a room, you don't hear them walking into a room or anything, but you turn and you go, oh, there is someone there, because you felt an energetic presence. Again, that sounds woo-woo, but it's total science, guys. So
look at the things that we don't see radio waves, but you certainly can tune in the radio station. You know it's there. You don't see x-rays, but you see the results of the x-ray. There's 1,000 things that we don't see, but we know exist. Like wind. What did Jesus say? You can't see it, but you can see the leaves moving. So there's evidence of those things out there, and everything does have a frequency of energy. Like a rock would be very low amplitude, very slow moving. Your body should have 5 to 7 feet of energy completely around. That's called a torus field. You should have that. The supplements 1 to 2 feet. the sun 93 million miles away. And if we stand in front of a window and the sun shines, we feel that because energy is passing through glass. So again, I only need to get those bottles within 1 to 2 feet of you to see if it's going to react favorably. And it's instantaneous. As soon as energy, there's no, you can't measure the speed. It's instantaneous, and it goes, let's say the thyroid, if somebody's contacting my thyroid and my arm goes weak and they give me a product that has, say, iodine in it, immediately, boom, my arm is rock solid. And, the other nice thing is it's just not rock solid. It's rock solid to perfection because we check and we want that arm to, it's called pulsing. We want to go to 10. We don't want 8 or 9. We don't want 13 or 14. We want 10. So everything we put in the system takes the organ in question to optimum. And the other thing is we don't want to interfere with that organ. If I'm treating your thyroid and you come in and you say, well, you know what? I want vitamin D. So we check you. And this is kind of ironic because I have never had anybody on a thyroid program where they were receptive to vitamin D. And I'm not sure why. I should look into that more, but that's just a perfect example.
Yeah.
And people go through, they bring in all of their supplements, and we want everything to work perfectly. I can't tell you, people will bring in bags of supplements and none of them test well.
Think about how many I brought in bags each time I came. And each time, I think I'm talking, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on supplements in my lifetime. I've researched, and you know me and my research, I've researched every one of them. And I've spent time to figure out what time of day I should take them and if I should take them after workouts, whenever. I think not a single supplement that I've ever brought in has been right for me except for Restore, which is now a different name, and which is Dirt Water. And Kim had like vitamin K2. That was it.
Well, that's the other thing, folks. If you're taking vitamin D without K, you're causing arteriosclerosis. You're causing calcification in the arteries because that vitamin K directs where the calcium goes. And the other thing you mentioned before, Mike, it is calcium lactate. Calcium lactate is the most bioavailable form of calcium. It is one physiologic step away from calcium bicarbonate, which is what the body prefers. Calcium carbonate and calcium citrate are horrible. The Tums is calcium carbonate, and it is such a deceptive, it's such a lie because they say, oh, it's an excellent source of calcium. Well, what do we take Tums for? To take acid into their stomach. So we're raising the pH. So when you take Tums, you raise the pH. There ain't no way on God's green earth you can absorb calcium without the proper pH and without the proper acid. So apple cider vinegar works. That's why we tell people if you're going to get calcium lactate, you should take it with 1/2 to 1 ounce of apple cider vinegar. And you guys come in. That's the easiest thing, the simplest thing you can do. Standard process, calcium lactate. Give us a call. We'll ship it to you. You don't have to, we don't have to be on a program because if you're going to spend money on supplements, at least let's make sure it's something really good that your body likes. We probably have 20 different product lines, and I didn't vet them all. I didn't have to. Somebody else did all the research, but they work really well. And your body likes organic.
So in terms of improving immunity, one of our first step with everybody is diet, right? We want people to have a better diet. And I know when I talk with people, I always recommend, I use examples of people that I know of that have used an ancestral approach. The dog come in.
He's growling at somebody. Okay.
So I always recommend using it. I have the ancestral umbrella, and then everything kind of lines up underneath there, whether it's, maybe you're more vegetable based, maybe you're more animal based, or totally animal based, right? Which I am for the most part, for several reasons. That's not for everybody. Or maybe you just want to be paleo. You're not worried about carbs. You're not worried about sugar, but you want it to be whole food. And that works for you because you're healthy. You have a good gut system. The whole system, the lining and everything is intact. We recommend food being the doctor before you are the doctor, right? The better you are with your food, the less supplements you need to help correct issues, or the faster you get off these supplements. So
That's why they have to talk with you. Part of the program is talking with you because food caused the problem and food is going to correct the problem. If you don't understand that, then it's kind of like pouring gas and water on the on fire. Yeah, gasoline and water on the same fire. We want you to understand, and we want you to take fewer and fewer supplements and increase your vitality.
yeah. So I would say a couple big things people can do right now today to improve their immune system. You smack her around. Don't let her badmouth you like that. Sorry. So a couple of things we can do right now.
Your umbrella, your ancestral umbrella?
Yeah.
Mine came from Walmart.
What's that?
Mine came from Walmart. My umbrella? Never mind.
Yeah. That was a bad dad joke.
It came from the pound. She's not the smartest knife not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
But so a couple things we could do right now today. Only 25 minutes into this, we get to this topic, right? We cut the sugar. I mean, cut sugar out of your diet like a scalpel, or increase your movement, and that just means literally if you want to go for a 5 or 10 minute walk after every meal, or just go for a 10-20 minute walk every day. I mean, that's a big change in movement. But now that a lot of us are home from work, working from home, Kim, my wife, for instance, if she can only do it once a day, she does it. But she sets her phone for a 5-minute alarm, and she does 5 minutes of movement. So she actually took, and I'll have to post it sometime, she took a high-speed video of her 5 minutes, all in like 14 seconds. It's really simple. It's some body weight squats, some lunges, some push-ups, different things like that. And boom, she's done. She's back to work, and it's terrific. So cut the sugar out of your diet. Cut the grains out of your diet. I would say if you're really worried about your immune system, cut all grains, period. Stick with real basic right now to get your immune system back, meat and vegetables. Pretty easy. And then get movement and lower your alcohol consumption. At first, you can have a glass of wine here or there. Every once in a while, I do a lot more than a glass of wine. Doc, you haven't seen it yet, but I have like 12 gallons of mead brewing in my basement. So nice. I prepped for the apocalypse by starting alcohol.
And I mean, folks, remember that's where honeymoon, the word honeymoon. It was the honey mead. It was the honey mead period that the bridegroom had to provide after the wedding. So, but the other thing too, we're talking about food, Mike. This is the easiest thing. This is the best advice I can give you besides calcium lactate. If you can't read it, don't eat it. If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. It's either going to say vitamin C as ascorbic acid, or it's going to say vitamin C from acerola cherries, potato skins, citrus fruits. It's got to be whole food, whole source. There's calcium from leafy green vegetables. And
so I don't think we have much more to go on today. I know you got to get to the office to do some just Wednesday is your catch up day on paperwork and calling patients that you might need to follow up with. Is there anything you want to leave all my friends and anybody watching, anything you want to leave them with today?
Just that, this whole situation is devastating, and I think it's unnecessarily so. I think it's been sensationalized. First of all, as a Bible thumper, God's in control. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But we have to help one another out. Be very aware and conscious of those around you, because there are people that are having their lives ruined because of this. They can't work. They need to supply for their family, and they can't do it. I have a colleague that I found out last night, she had to lay off all 8 of her employees, and that's just terrible.
That's a doctor's office.
She's a chiropractor. Yeah, she's front line. And how can you, if we want to be healthy, if we want to whip this, and we have to boost foundational issues, and that's the whole food. If you can't read it, don't eat it. get rid of the sugar, get rid of the grains. I mean, see a lot of people talking about sprouted grains, and it's so much better for you. Well, the reason for that is it's breaking down the stuff that your body can't break down.
Yep.
So grains aren't a good primary source, but we're simply trying to get the energy from the sun into our body, and we can't absorb a little bit of it directly, but that's the whole point. That's why we eat food. So again, good foundational issues. Make sure you're getting the water. You gotta move, get up and move.
Barefoot out on the grass.
Push away from the table, when you're done. And you got to break the leptin resistance and the insulin resistance, and those things will pack the weight on. But yeah, the grounding, you're the expert there as far as the frequency of the earth. Healing occurs so much quicker, and getting and protecting yourself from EMF. This is called a
it's a harmonizer, right?
Vitaplex.
Yeah.
And that's, where is it? I can't see it.
Right there you go. We're just looking up your nose.
Anyway, what the heck? That's the Vitaplex, and any EMF coming in, it harmonizes that with the body. So there's a bunch of little stuff, folks. I mean, we're on the verge of really being able to help with vitality. And this thing about what we're dealing with now, turning off the TV. That's the best thing. That's the best advice I can give you. Turn off the TV, because the fake news is fake news.
Yeah,
it really is.
Like, this is the time
when pray without ceasing. Be anxious for nothing.
Yeah, when you're forced to be home, find a hobby.
You broke up. What?
Find a hobby when you're forced to be home. Whether that means you start building kites. I don't know. Paper airplanes. I find hobbies that are easy for me to do and leave go. So like, I have bonsais. That's one. Those bonsais only need watered once or twice a week. And it also forces me to go in the basement and work out right where they are. Brewing, you set it and forget it, right? Big whoop. There's more to it, but not much. Just different things, paint. Kim's going to get some paint by numbers. Paint by numbers now. Have you seen these things lately? Holy cow, they're incredible. They're like,
it's what I would need. You wouldn't happen otherwise. So,
well, so Doc, where can everybody find you? I know in the notes below this post, I have your phone number, your Facebook page, your Instagram page, and your website, and the address. So if people are scared to come into the office, they can give you a call first, find out what the protocol is. If they don't want to come in at all, can people see you remotely yet?
Yeah, I mean, let's say so. For all these out there, the woo-woo factor is a little great. We can completely boggle your mind because we can check you remotely.
Yeah,
that is because this is such a high-tech procedure. It's based on the principles of quantum physics, and if it's called quantum entanglement, and what happens to one particle here, if they're quantumly entangled, you get an exact opposite or exact reaction, 100,000 miles away.
Yep.
So yeah, we do remote testing, and we can do remote emotional release. Again, that's Mike's expertise. He's getting pretty slick at it, and getting on a program. But the website is drtedhill.com, all small letters, all one word. Facebook is East Liverpool Family Practice. So share Mike's page, share our page, get the word out, because people don't know. They don't know that there's an alternative, that they are not, it's not a ball and chain, blood pressure pills or whatever. You don't need anything. You cannot fix an organic body with synthetic. There ain't no synthetic pill, potion, or lotion that will fix your organic body. And you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and you should be living to 120 years. That's what God said, Genesis 6, verse 3. So, I'm 61. If I listen to Moses, he was complaining to God, "Oh Lord, a man's years are full of trouble and strife, and they may be 70 or 80 if he has the strength." Oy vey. Well, if that's the case, I'm in the fourth quarter. I listen to God, I'm at halftime.
So it just hit me. I got to deal with you for 60 more years. Oh, man.
I know. So check us out, find us on Facebook, but share this information, and don't touch your nose like we were just doing, because that's a no-no. And there's a little dog I've seen it on the thing now. It's a little dog talking about the 4 legs or the 2 legs. and she's giving advice for the age of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
So you know what's going to happen? There's going to be a big population boom in about 9 months, and then 20 years from now, it's going to be the rise of the quarantines.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I wasn't paying attention, but while we were chatting, we had a few friends. My cousin Nanette, she reached out. She's a friend of ours. Nanette Bruce says hi, Mike and Dr. Hill, and so did Candy Manley. So
hey Candy, how you doing? And Nanette Bruce, I haven't seen you in a while, honey. You need to get in there. Let's boost your immune system. Come on. Quit eating the pizza. No, I know you don't.
Well, hey, Doc,
Candy is faithful. Candy is a living proof of what a program will do. She looks like a different person. I mean, she was just like a nervous Nelly, and now she's chill and she's feeling good and she's looking good. And you know, I can't take credit for any of it. I just ask the questions, and so they get with you. They decide that today is the day, and you know, they decide they want to turn their life around. So we can help you do that. Boost the immune system, get you educated, and you know, release the emotions, because folks, it is body, mind, and spirit, and we want to help you with all of those things.
Yeah. And phone number for Candy says she needs to stop in and get supplements. So what's the phone number that Candy could call you at?
330-386-1111 or 3311.
That's just.
What's that say?
It's a compliment. Yeah, like you need more compliments. Dr. Hill, amazing. Go see him.
Yeah, I can't take credit for it. I thank God for, you know, the path I'm on, for the people that we come in contact with, and there are no accidents. And I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans of good, not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. So claim that, and give us a call. Check us out. Check out Mike's website, and spread this, share this, let people know. Because, you know, they say, oh, cost and this and that. I'm like, really? You're standing there with a pair of $200 Nikes and a $1,200 iPhone X, and you just watched a Cartoon Network marathon on your 65-inch flat screen TV, and you finished your second pack of Marlboro Blacks for the day, and you don't have money for your supplement.
Yeah,
I completely get it. I get it.
I understand too, right? And so, well, so Doc, stick on. I'm gonna say we're gonna get off here, cast off. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and stick around, Doc. I'm gonna say I'm gonna send you off once we're off air. So thanks everyone, really appreciate it.
Thanks. God bless. Stay safe. Don't touch your nose.